Ever since I could remember, I've been fascinated with aviation. As a small child, I flew with my grandmother to down south a lot. And the best part of the trip was getting to go up front in the cockpit and talk to the pilots, get to take pictures with them, press the buttons, ask them questions. And ever since then, I've been fascinated with aviation. My dad introduced me to this program that takes kids flying for the first time called the Young Eagles. And one of the pilots who took me flying, his name was Fred Pitcher. He was a retired Delta captain, and he took me up in a Cessna 182 just around the LA area. And after that flight, I was pretty much hooked into aviation. Shortly after I took the first ride, I wanted to get more into aviation. And one of the things I learned about were flight simulators. There are programs you can put on the computer, and it simulates flight. My grandparents purchased a Microsoft Flight Sim for me, which I asked for as a Christmas gift. And what it was a program that simulates flight. And that really hooked me to the world of aviation, and it kept me wondering what the real airplane was like. And after that, I would be on it day and night, flying on the computer. I hold 6 world records, and it's from a flight I did when I was 14. I flew a helicopter from Los Angeles to Vancouver, Canada. And when I was in Canada, I soloed an airplane and a helicopter on the same day, which nobody's ever done before. And one of the records I hold is the youngest person to fly an airplane and a helicopter on the same day at the age of 14. The moment I knew I wanted to fly Learjet around the world was shortly after an interview with Keith O'Derrick. He asked me what was next for me, and I told him the plans about flying around the world, and he wanted to know what was I doing to pursue that goal. And he knew the daughter of Bill Lear, which introduced me to the Learjet family, and I learned about the company and the airplane, and that's when I knew it was the perfect airplane to take for the trip. I was fortunate enough to get a tour of the Learjet facility in Wichita, Kansas. I got to meet everybody from the mechanics, the painters, and the craftsmen that make the final product. At the end of the tour, I was lucky enough to get a demonstration flight in a Lear 45. Flying the airplane for the first time was amazing. It was the first time I've been above 30,000 feet. We were cruising at 48,000 feet, which felt totally different from what I was used to. And I just had a great time flying the airplane. I was recently hired by a company who operates as United Express, flying the Bombardier CRJ 700, which is a 70-seat regional jet, and it's an amazing airplane to fly. At the Reno Air Races, I was introduced to another type of flying. It was a type of flying that I wasn't used to. The type of flying I was used to was more of instructional or the commercial side of it. But this was a whole nother world. It was airplanes racing each other. It was aerobatics, and it was pretty fun.
Twisting and turning into roll, orientation and recovering in an upright spin.
I was fortunate enough to meet several of the aviation greats such as Laurent Bourgeois, Clay Lacy, Bob Hoover, Frank Robinson, the Tuskegee Airmen, and as well as John Travolta and many others. So after attending a function with the Tuskegee Airmen, I was able to meet the president of my university, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, and was able to get a tour of the Daytona Beach campus. Working as a flight instructor, I loved every minute of it because at that point, I was able to fly every day and not have to pay for it. I got to share the gift of aviation with anybody who was willing to get in an airplane with me. We as pilots can inspire today's youth to get into aviation by doing something just as simple as opening a hangar door and taking a kid up for a joyride around the city, which was the way I got into aviation. I can tell you that anything is possible with support, hard work, and ambition. I have been blessed to have support from my parents, grandparents, aviators, mentors, and my manager. I will continue to be a pilot, graduate from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, and fly a Learjet around the world.